Good evening. We start here in your business. Since 1990, at least 13 banks have collapsed in South Africa with a recurring theme of liquidity issues and bad management. Some banks, like African Bank, have gone through the curatorship process more than once. This often leads to people losing money if a bank fails. The South African Reserve Bank now has the Corporation for Deposit Insurance that looks to change this. Its aim is to ensure the bank deposits of all consumers of up to 100,000 rands for all South Africans should any of the local banks fail. Our business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo caught up with the Governor of the Reserve Bank, Lesetja, Kganyago, and asked him why you and I should no longer keep our money in our mattress.
The Corporation for Deposit Insurance is more than 12 years in the works, with the Reserve Bank looking to really protect South African deposits. And for some insights on that, I am now joined by Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago. Thank you so much for talking to us. A change of tone from the MPC. Talk us through CODI and why it's important for South Africans to be aware of it.
Well, South Africa had always had a system of protecting depositors. It was implicit. It had always been an unwritten rule that when a bank fails, that government steps in. And it used to step in up to the level of 50,000 rands. But in a way, South Africa was out of line with peer countries. We are the only country in the G20 that didn't have a formal deposit insurance. And so in the aftermath of the great financial crisis, we embarked on a regulatory reform, the twin peak model of financial regulation. And amongst those was that the Reserve Bank would be made responsible for the safety and soundness of financial institutions and also given an explicit financial stability mandate. The launch of CODI completes that architecture. And so what this means is that South Africans can sleep peacefully knowing that their money in any of the banks in South Africa, because it's mandatory for anyone with a banking license to subscribe to CODI. And so every depositor will be covered up to 100,000 rands per bank.
And those would be most South Africans, Governor, because 90% of us do not have, a deposit account or savings exceeding that 100,000 rand. Would this encourage South Africans, or is the move also to help encourage South Africans to save more? But also a question that I myself had, how would this work? Do I need to subscribe to it? Do I need to sign up for it? Is there a premium? Does it work like normal insurance? Could you unpack that for us?
It is a very interesting kind of an insurance scheme. You do not have to subscribe to it. You don't have to pay premiums. The premiums are paid by the banks. So it is the banks that are members of the deposit insurance CODI. So they pay the premiums, and those premiums go to build the deposit insurance fund. So when a bank fails, which in South Africa is a very rare and unlikely event, but when it happens, you know that your deposit is safe up to 100,000. But what it also does for South Africans is that you could spread your deposits in different banks without worrying that if the bank fails, then I would have lost my money, knowing that you are covered up to 100,000.
Governor, thank you so much for giving us those quick insights on CODI. And of course, that is Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago, just giving us some quick insights into CODI and how it works. South Africans really need to be taking advantage of this depositors insurance. No subscription, no payments needed, and your deposits are kept safe. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.